So I kind of like that. Okay, so now here's some of the psychosexual stages of development. This is another part of psychoanalysis and Freud's theory. Probably heard quite a lot about these, but these I think are somewhat helpful to us. I think Erickson's stuff becomes a lot more helpful to our work. Erickson's stages of development, but this really is a decent start, and so. You probably learned about these in other courses, and you can certainly read up more on these. But most often, where I have seen these written about yet, today in today's world is, around overeating, smoking. The person is stuck in the oral stage. They never moved past the oral stage. The oral stage is about putting stuff in the mouth. And so, a baby from birth to a year old, everything they see goes right into the mouth. And so, I've seen these kind of be used as, justification in some way, maybe that they're stuck in a stage. So some of these are helpful, and I'd be happy to visit with you more about them individually if you'd like more on these. So what leads to problems? What gets people in the door? Okay, so this is really important. So psychoanalysis is about making the unconscious conscious. So we want to make what's going on under the surface, bring it up into the conscious, into the person's awareness so that they can work on it. And so that's really what the whole thing hinges on. Then, once we've done that, we strengthen the ego. So there's two main goals to psychoanalysis, and that's make the unconscious conscious and strengthen the ego. So as I mentioned earlier, tension, conflict, these are the things using the id, ego, and superego idea that is going to get people unhappy. So we've got a poor management of the id, we've got a harsh superego, or we've got a weak ego. This is how people begin to struggle. All right, so I talked earlier, just mentioned a minute ago about what gets clients in the door, and it's really this anxiety. It's a feeling of dread from things that are repressed, memories, desires, experiences that happen that enter the person's awareness. And so, for example, they go into a grocery store, they are walking by a man, and they notice he has a brown belt, and he becomes immobilized by fear, sets down on the floor, begins to put things in his mouth, and just kind of lay there in a fetal position. And so that would, psychoanalysis would look at that and say, well, there's something about a male figure, maybe a father that happened early in life, maybe there is, that person's recalling some trauma or abuse from the brown belt, and they're regressing, which, using defense mechanisms to a much earlier state. And so this is kind of an example. Maybe not the best, but an example. So ways to help clients have awareness of unconscious and techniques. So some of the theories we're going to be talking about in this class are going to be low on techniques. So techniques are the things that we apply to the problem that bring resolution using the theory. And so psychoanalysis has several of them, which I think are really good. And so dreams, that's you probably heard quite a lot of that. And so dreams, a dream diary. You wake up every morning, you write down your dreams, as many parts of them as you can remember. You bring them into your therapist, and the two of you talk about them, look for themes, and your analyst is what they call psychoanalytic theorists. Your analyst tells you what those dreams mean. Slips of the tongue, these are really super cool, Freudian slips. And so one of the things you're going to be doing today or during this module is going out and YouTubing Freudian slips and just seeing what they say. So really, those are you get, the person is in a situation, and for whatever reason, another person's name or another word or something else fills in, and it gives you a little insight or a little peek into their mind of what they were really thinking. And so, for example, a slip of the tongue. My partner in life, my wife Pam, she and I, when we'll be disagreeing over something, sometimes we'll be talking, and she will she'll we'll be discussing something, and she'll say, "Dad, I mean Doug," and so she'll insert her dad into as my name, and so that would be a slip of the tongue. That would be a Freudian slip, and psychoanalysis would really jump all over that. They would say, well, I'm symbolic of her father in some way, or I'm making her feel depowered, or I'm whatever. And so that one's kind of cool. Post-hypnotic suggestion, hypnosis is a big piece of psychoanalysis. Some places around the Kearney area are using hypnosis. Not a lot, and there's not a real strong evidence base that says hypnosis is helpful. And kind of now it's a mockery on college campuses to get people to come up on stage and cluck like a chicken and do those kinds of things. Free association is actually really cool. Basically, get the client relaxed, get them calm, and then say a word, and then they repeat the first word that comes to their mind. So without any filtering, without any thinking. So if I say snowball, they say winter. If I say dad, they say anger. If I say goat, they say Thomas, their brother, something like that. And so it is what they associate with the initial word allows a glimpse into their mind, a glimpse into their thoughts that we can work on. So we got projection techniques. That's helpful. That's in the textbook as well. And symbolic content of symptoms. That's in the textbook as well. Those are a little bit lesser known. Probably not incredibly important for me to highlight here to you now, but worthwhile knowing.